if people saw the movie called The Killing Field, and then you probably have some understanding, right? But to me, people keep asking me, is that movie is good enough? Is accurate enough? To me, it was not accurate enough because it didn't show much about the suffering that people had to go through, every single day, the daily life. That is horrible because you have to work from sunrise to sunset with a cup of rice for lunch and another cup of rice for dinner, and then you work non-stop, no Saturday, no Sunday, no holidays, 365 days a week. I mean a month. A year. Maybe one day off on the Communist Party Day in October. That's about it. And then the rest, we lost time. We didn't even think about time. And the most horrible thing is about hunger, because after a few months working there, we ran out of food, and because of the work that we have to do every day, then we didn't have anything much to eat. Yeah, and the labor was non-stop. And then we were so hungry that every single day, every single second, we were looking for food all the time. And people would be fighting each other. You can see each family would be broken up, fighting just for one extra spoon of rice or something, soup, something like that. So first, they didn't do anything yet. So they said that we're going to take away confiscated guns, which is understandable, guns, no problem. And then, secondly, they want books. They didn't allow anybody to read books. So they took all the books and then they burned them away. The third one, they took away the dogs. That was hard to understand. I got 3 dogs, right? We had to turn them away. And then later we learned why they want the dogs. Because at night they send spies to listen to people talking. Anybody want to do something against them, to resist against them. And then the dogs would bark, so would give away their presence. So they kill all the dogs. So my nephew and nieces who were growing up, they never saw a dog or even a cat, Yeah, so no dogs anywhere. After that, to better control the people really very tightly, they divide the whole village into age group, right? The children less than 10 years old or 12 years old, they took them away from the family and formed them into what we call the children unit. Feed them, give them clothing to wear, and then brainwash them, and then they made them into spies. Those are the ones who were sent back to listen to their parents talking and then report it to their leader. And the second group were they called the youth group, right? Between 30 years old, not married yet, still single, men and women. Right, I was 18 then, so I was in that group. Right, the third group were the married people, right, who got married still young enough, in between the 20 to 50 or less than 50 years old or so. They work around the village, right, farming, plowing, planting rice and so on, but all around the village. And then the fourth group were the grandparents, the old people, or you are over 50, because Cambodia life expectancy was so low, around 49 then, So 50 years old considered as very old. And then they do light work in the village, making baskets, babysitting, cooking, cleaning up, and so on. But the most important group was the youth group, my group, because they will send us to everywhere that nobody would go, to the jungle to clear out the wood. And then they consider that as a war, as a battle, right? A revolutionary war. So now we have to join their revolution by attacking, cleaning up the rice field and plowing and doing all of that to produce 5 tons of rice per hectare, because they said that they will build the country from bare hands with no aid, no assistance from anywhere, right? They will build that from their own hand. They don't want any support from anyone. They close all relationship with anybody else except China, of course, So first thing, they took me out with a group of about 200 other youth, young men, to a place. And then there were 3 leaders. They were more either from the Red Guards or from the Communist Party. They're young. They have a table, and then they sat us down on a big tree, and then they took us one by one to come, and then they want to know your background. Okay, mostly they want to know your name, your parents' name, where you came from, and the most particularly is your grade level, because they want to classify people by the educational level. But later I learned that to most of these leaders, the God, they couldn't read or write. So all three, only one of them could read or write a little bit, and maybe had a few years of schooling. Right? Most of them didn't know how to read, and they had no idea about college. Right? To them, high education is high school. Yeah, maybe 7, 8 grade up, 8 grade up, that's considered high education. And then elementary school, that's good enough, just a few years, yeah, you're okay. So right away they divide people into two groups in the first place. They call the old people and the new people. The old people were the people who were fighting and supporting them before, during the war. The new people were the people who just came from the city, who just, they took over the country, and then they considered us new people. Actually, one leader said that actually you were prisoner of war, because they won the war. Yeah, so they considered us prisoners. All right, so get back to my group, the youth group. So when they call people to come up, and then they put their name, and then they put the grade, the school grade, next to their name. And to me, I was stupid enough. I didn't know then. So I wanted to go back to school. I wanted to continue my schooling, And then I told them that I came from medical school. So the leader didn't know what a medical school was. So he turned around, asked the other guy, say, what grade is medical school? And the other guy said, I didn't know, I don't know. So they didn't put any grade next to my name. And then later, because of that, I learned that I was lucky. The high school kids were missing one by one. Yeah, we don't know. Probably either send them away or kill them. So since I don't have any grade next to my name, I was alive. I was. They sent me to work in the rice field somewhere else. So after that, to be able to control all of us, because they know that we could do something against them, we could run away, we could do a lot of stuff that they don't want us to do. To be able to control that, right away they divide that each unit by divisions, right? Division is like 100 people in each division. Then each division would have 3 leaders: president, vice president, and secretary. And then a division of 100 will be divided into sections of 30, right? 3 sections of 30. And then each section will have that 3 leaders again, president, vice president, secretary. Then each section will be divided further into a group of 10, 3 groups of 10, right? Each group of 10 would have that 3 leaders. So when you go out to work, you have to follow your group, your section, and your division. And you're missing in maybe, let's say, the most couple hours, they know right away. Somebody is missing, then they will report it. And then let's say I want to run away, right? Or I want to do something against them. How could I do that? Because if I run away from my division, from my camp, I couldn't go anywhere out without permission. Without permission, they could stop me on the way. And also, if let's say I went through all of that, get to my relative in another village or so, they would not be able to take me in anyway, because they all belong to their group, section, and division, and so on. And on top of that, when you go to eat in the commune kitchen, you have to go with your group, section, and your leaders, right? You are not allowed to have any of your own private property. So nobody would be able to share food with me anyway. And if I was arrested, not just me alone, right? If they found out that I tried to do something against them, not just me alone, maybe the whole family. And then they would torture you and then kill all of you. Right? That is the problem, that people could not do anything, fight against them.